Hello everybody and welcome to PokeDrift's. Instead of ripping cards, I'm going to start a small little short series on Pokemon Yellow and Mastery. What this means is I'm going to show you how to obtain all 8 badges, defeat the Elite Four, and complete the Pokedex, the whole 151. Yes, Mew included. You can actually get him fairly early in the game if you know what you're doing a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this up, and we're going to do this together. If you'd like, you can grab a Game Boy Color and a first gen game, blue, red, or yellow, and play along. Story's slightly different between the three, and that's why we're doing the special Pikachu edition. We're doing the yellow because it's based off of the storyline, and it offers you all the Pokemon except for Team Rocket Pokemon. If you ever noticed during the playthrough of this, you'll notice that a lot of the Team Rocket Pokemon you're not getting. I mean, you're going to get the Rattata, you're going to get the Zubat, but I mean, some of the ones that they don't exactly put in, like Coughing and Wheezing, you're not going to get that one in this game. And that's it, or Ekans and Arbok. I mean, those, or Meowth and Persian, those are very specific Pokemon mascot faces of, Jesse and James and Giovanni. So, alright, here we go. Let's get into this. What is my name? Well, as you guys already know, it is PokeDrift, so let's go ahead and do that. PokeDrift. You can go to lowercase letters with the select button. I like to do that. That way it makes me feel like the game was written specifically for me, Alright, here we have it. PokeDrift. Let's get started. And apparently I have a rival in the game. He's supposed to be better than me, but I don't think so. Not so much. What's his name? Well, we're going to name him an antagonist. And for a little bit of humor, I'm going to let you guys slowly see what it is. Now, if you know anything about trading card games, you might find a little bit of humor in this. I know I do. The perfect antagonist name for my rival. I like it. My adventure is about to unfold, and yours in everything else is about to begin. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start right out in PokeDrift's room, right upstairs, and we're going to first go to the PC. In the PC, we're going to withdraw a potion that can come in handy later. So there's secret hidden items in this game, and I know where a good chunk of them are. I can't promise that I know exactly where all of them are, but I will certainly try my best to get as many as I can from what I can remember. Last time I played this game was when I was a child. I got the Special Pikachu Edition Game Boy Color and Special Pikachu Edition game bundle for Christmas when I was 11 years old, and well, that was pretty much the end of my whole entire life. I could have had so many other paths in life, but I got introduced into Pokemon, and that just kind of became the hobby of a lifetime. I guess not for me, just me alone, but for a lot of other people. Alright, Professor Oak, what do you got? What do you got? Notice he's only got one Pokeball. He doesn't weaken the Pokemon or sleep it. Like, where does he get a special Pokeball like that, huh? I gotta wait until I defeat Giovanni to get a Master Ball. Is that a Master Ball in disguise, maybe? Who knows? Through that, Professor Oak is just exceptionally lucky. Never mind for the fact that it's the only Pikachu in this game. You can't even find one over by the power plant, and you can't find one in Viridian Forest or just outside of Pewter. It does not appear in Pokemon Yellow. This Pikachu I am given is a game exclusive. You guys may find that I am a trigger happy kind of person with the A and B buttons. Depending on the situation, I will spam the hell out of it because I am impatient, and well, you can only get the text to go so fast in the option menu. Alright, but while we're here talking about it, might as well go ahead and change the text speed to fast. animation on. I do like animation. And we are going to go with shift instead of set. Alright. Jesus, Kaiba. What are you doing? That's not nice to push. Hey, that was going to be my Pokemon. Why'd you take it? I wanted that Pokemon. I don't care if Oak is your grandpa. Alright, fine. Who knows? The one he had for you was probably better. Oh, wow. I received the Pikachu that Professor Oak caught earlier, and it wants me to nickname it, and I don't do that. I like being able to look in my Pokedex and knowing exactly which Pokemon is what. Now, I'm going to go ahead and save the game here, so that way I don't have to do any restarts if for some reason I don't win this battle. Winning this battle and the next battle with your rival absolutely affects the end game result, as in what Pokemon he evolves that Eevee into for your final battle with him in the story. So, we are going to save it here, so that way if I don't win this battle, we can try again. You'll find it's a fun, common trick to use when you're trying to catch the legendary birds, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, you know, that sort of thing. Here we go, Pikachu. We're just going to open right up with Thunder Shock. Let's hope we paralyze it. That would be good. There we go. I got lucky. I called that one. That was pretty cool. That's definitely going to help us win this battle, because if he's fully paralyzed, that means he may not be able to attack. And evidently my speed is substantially higher than his. So I think that was the second attack in a row I got off before he was able to attack. There we go. Last one. Boom. I do believe paralysis does slow the opponent down. And I definitely took out his Eevee flawlessly. Not a single scratch to my Pikachu. And guess what? To level 6 right out the gate. We're already growing together as a team. And of course it learns an ability I'm not really going to use a whole lot in the game. It'll probably be one of the first ones I delete. I have a special way to raise this Pikachu. Kaiba, okay, I'll make my Pokemon fight to toughen them up. Which is something, if you're playing along, you'll have to do too. I will probably be taking breaks in between parts of this game. Specifically just so that way I can do the grinding. You guys don't have to watch me do the grinding, because that's probably hands down the most boring part of the game, is when you have to go ahead and grind. So we're going to keep it moving to finish this first part of the game by getting to Viridian and returning Professor Oak's Parcel. Should I fight this Rattata for the experience points? Might make catching Pokemon more difficult, but you know what? We'll do it. You definitely don't want to level up your Pikachu too fast, or any Pokemon too fast. You know, not having the right badge will make the Pokemon not obey you. And if your Pokemon are too strong to like one hit a Pokemon and leave it with just a little HP left to be able to catch it, then catching Pokemon becomes difficult and you have to start using a different Pokemon. One of the great things about Pikachu is shortly here soon is going to learn something that creates what's called a status effect, paralysis. We experienced this not too long ago with Eevee. That status effect absolutely helps with catching Pokemon. And third battle. I bet you this one levels us up right to level 37. You just watch. Alright, here we go. We've made it to Viridian. There's the Poke Center. Here's the mart. There's some houses all around. If we were to continue to the west, you'll find Poke Center. If you were to continue to the north, you will start to head towards Viridian Forest and then Pewter. We're going to go up here real quick because a lot of people don't know this, but if you select A while facing this tree, you'll find a secret potion, which again may come in handy later. I try not to need potions and not have to buy those sorts of items because they do cost money in the game, and you make money only by defeating trainers. So you don't get an endless supply of money until you've achieved being able to take on the Elite Four. So from here till then, we kind of got to think about how we spend our money and what we're spending it on. So for me, one of the things I personally like to buy is just Pokeballs. I avoid potions and status effect heals because I'm not so lazy to the point where I can't walk back to the Poke Center. Alrighty, so we've achieved Professor Oak's Parcel from the Mart. The cashier asked us to take this to Professor Oak, and that is what we're going to do. You'll find we can get there more quickly and efficiently without having to stop to battle in the grassy areas by jumping down from these ledges. In the game, you can jump down from the ledges. Sometimes you can jump west or east, but you can never jump up. It saddens me. I'd like to be able to jump the other way too. Alright, a Pidgey to get in the way, and this one will for sure take us to the next level. Alright, almost back. And here we are. We are back to Pallet Town. To the laboratory, and here we go. Off to talk to Professor Oak. Hey, it's my Parcel. Oh, I wonder what his Parcel was. It definitely wasn't the Pokedexes, because if you look on the table to the top left of the screen, you can see there's 2 books there. Those are going to be the Pokedexes. I bet that Parcel was like a Master Ball or something of that nature. Something you're not supposed to be able to get your hands on so relatively easily. Oh boy, Kaiba's back. Here he is. The good news is, at the end of this, we won't have to fight him again. And this is where Professor Oak is giving us each a Pokedex and asks us to achieve his dream of a perfect Pokedex, which I think a lot of people happen to miss with this game is the #1 goal of the game. A lot of people, I feel, miss that and play through and get the badges and beat the Elite Four and say, oh yeah, I beat that game. No, I don't think you really beat that game. Beating the game means catching them all. That's why it says that. Pokemon gotta catch them all. It's the slogan. And right here, Professor Oak specifically asks you to complete his dream, which is to fill the Pokedex. That is the first and foremost, the primary objective of this game. In order to get to that objective, you have to go through the town to town, get the badges, go through the Elite Four, because you'll never get Mewtwo unless you beat the Elite Four. You have to at least, achieve access to Cerulean Cave. So, anyways, going to close this out. The end of part 1, Professor Oak's Parcel, getting it returned to him, and then we will go ahead and start on our adventure on the next time. We'll start working towards getting our very first badge. So that's going to be important because you need 8 to get to the Elite Four. So hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I look forward to playing with you guys again next time.